So this film is another example of the recent trend of women taking center stage in Hollywood. And here to discuss Mother and other films starring powerful women is Fandango correspondent and author Alicia Malone. Alicia, how's it going?
Hi Peter, how you doing?
Hey, thanks for being on the show. So Mother is about to hit the big screen. What can we expect from Jennifer Lawrence in this movie?
I'm so excited to see this one. Mother, exclamation point. It's directed by Darren Aronofsky, who did Black Swan, which gave Natalie Portman her Oscar. And Jennifer Lawrence is someone who always brings such depth and dimension to every single role she does. This is a psychological thriller, dark and twisted, kind of a horror film at the same time, all about what happens to a couple when they get some unexpected visitors. I think it could be a possible Oscar nomination again for Jennifer Lawrence. I'm hopeful anyway.
Yeah, from everything I've seen, it looks incredible, and I can't wait to check it out. So in the last couple of years, we've seen women taking more of a lead role, both in front of and behind the camera. What do you attribute to this recent trend?
Well, I think the level of conversation has really reached a breaking point right now. You know, I was doing a lot of research for my book Backwards and in Heels, which looks at the past for women in film as well as the present. And you notice how many times history seems to repeat itself, how many times Hollywood seems surprised when a female-led film or a female-directed film does really well. The statistics right now are still quite dire. Out of all the top grossing films of last year, only 4% were directed by women, and also only a third featured a female lead. But Fandango just did a survey with moviegoers, and they found that 94% of moviegoers want to see more dynamic leading ladies on the big screen, and 91% want to see more opportunities for female directors. So I think that level of conversation and that level of push at the box office and the success of movies like Wonder Woman will really pave the way for more change in Hollywood.
I hope so. So you mentioned your book before. How did all that come to be?
Yeah, so I'm a huge film geek and I've always read a lot of film history books, but in all the books I read, I rarely came across stories of women in Hollywood and women who did great achievements. So I wanted to write a book for men and for women out there who want to learn more about the plight of women in Hollywood and how it was at the beginning of cinema to right up to today, and then looking a little bit into the future. And the title is Backwards and in Heels, and that's from a quote about Ginger Rogers, which said that Ginger Rogers did everything that Fred Astaire did, just backwards and in heels. And I thought that was kind of a great metaphor for women in film, that they've always been great achievements, for women next to men, but they've just had a few more obstacles to get across.
I've heard that quote before, and that's a great title for this book. So I understand to promote the book, you put together a little movie playlist. I gotta ask, what films made the cut?
Yeah, so one of the things that kept coming up when I was writing the book was how important it is that female lead roles be allowed to be all kinds of things, not just strong, but also complex, funny, unlikable. So I looked at my favorite female-led films. You've got recent hits like Beatrice at Dinner and My Cousin Rachel, which both featured really interesting female lead characters. And then you have classics like 9 to 5 and also Monster with Charlize Theron, who played a quite violent character, as well as Hidden Figures and Wonder Woman. There's 32 films there on my playlist on Fandango now, and they really encompass the whole shades of women in film and how important it is that lead characters for women be all kinds of things and not just like the fierce females.
Absolutely, and I cannot wait to check it out. So this year, we have a lot of powerful female characters in some movies coming up this fall, like Battle of the Sexes and Bad Moms Christmas. Which movies are you most looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to Battle of the Sexes. Emma Stone, my lookalike, she was so fantastic in La La Land, where she won an Oscar. Now she plays the real-life character Billie Jean King, who was a feminist tennis champion who in 1973 took on a very chauvinistic male former tennis champion Bobby Riggs, who's played by Steve Carell, in a public tennis match which really showed how women really belong on the tennis court just as much as men. So I cannot wait for that. And then, of course, I can't wait to see Daisy Ridley back again in Star Wars The Last Jedi, playing Rey. She teams up with Finn and Poe. She's just such a great character. And she also teams up with Luke Skywalker. We get to see him in this film. And it's also the final film for Carrie Fisher playing Princess Leia.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those circled on my calendar as well. So again, thanks for being on the show, and thanks for writing this book. You know, there have been a lot of women who have paved the way in Hollywood, and I'm glad they're finally getting the recognition that they deserve.
No, thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about it. I appreciate it.
Of course, thanks again. If you want to check out Alicia's book, you can find it at Amazon and other major bookstores. And if you want to see Mother, it'll be playing in theaters across the country. And if you're not too scared after, let me know what you thought of the film on Facebook at Director's Cut TV.